ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Guys, everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass, guys, because 32 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, through the grace of God, 32 years later, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. Yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. Guys, I'm saying all that to say this. You know, we've all had the roughest few years of our lives, right? Not just here, all over the world. And everyone out there needs to know someone is listening. We've all lost too many people, friends and family members, including myself, especially through addiction. And I'm here to let you know that I'm a recovery coach, and I'm also a nutritional health coach. All my services to you are free. And guys, if you think my book can help someone, because I do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, it's everywhere. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com, and please subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. And guys, listen, if you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please, please reach out to me about that as well. Thank you. So guys, you know I always bring it, right? So I've got a really, really cool guest today. He's a singer, he's a songwriter, and he's also a hero. So I'm going to introduce Tim McGeary to you, and I want him to... Tim, did I say your name properly, first of all?
Tim McGeary is all good.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Tim, welcome to the Geri Petito Show here on Hamilton Radio.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
You know,
it.
I'm a New Yorker, and I've been in Jersey for 50 years. I was born and raised in Long Island City, New York. Moved here when we were 12, when I was 12. So you know, you're a hero to me. You're a hero to a lot of people. But just give everybody a little, tell them a little something about you. We'll start with that.
Okay, well, I'm originally from New Jersey. My dad had his office on 42nd and Lexington. He started one of the first dental clinics back like 60, 70 years ago. So even though I was a New Jersey kid, but we played in New York, and that was it. So I'm the oldest of 10 children, Irish Catholic, 5 sisters, all named Mary. I'm the oldest and sort of the black sheep. I'm the only one with tattoos and all that stuff. Yay, come on.
I love the tattoos. Go ahead. I was the black sheep too.
But I was, I love music and stuff. And my dad was an FBI agent for 12 years and opened his own business with this doctor, and they had this, clinic was really good. So, I've been married in November, 43 years. I have 2 daughters. I lost this 18-year-old son in 2006 to a car accident.
Whoa.
We can get into that, but and it was a beautiful story. I'm going to tell you about that, about these flowers, but I'll get into that later. His name was Trevor. He's an organ donor. I'm recovering. I've been 36 years clean and sober. I was a paramedic here, a flight medic, and a firefighter altogether. I was with the DMAT team, which is a federal team. We went to Ground Zero during 9/11, and also with Katrina, with the people in New Orleans. Let's see, I'm retired now, but I loved the job because I was helping people for a living. But I was a musician first. I was signed back in the 80s with a band called The Rescue. We used to tour like Billy Idol and Duran Duran. In fact, anybody from New Jersey, Brenna Arena, when Duran Duran show, if they went to that show, we were the opening band called The Rescue. So,
Wow.
so that was fun. I've been always doing music, original music, my whole life. I was different bands. I had 3 solo records, 2 under the name of Wonderful Johnson, which is actually a guy's name His name was Wonderful Johnson. His brother was named Innocence. I thought that's so funny, Wonderful Johnson. Of course, everyone sort of goes to the gutter with it, but really, it's all about affirmation. I thought how great it is. Your whole life, you're called wonderful. I said, yeah. So, and I asked him if I could use his name for my band. He goes, yeah, that's great. So we did that. And then I've been up writing in Nashville for the last 11, 12 years. Let's see. Captain Kirk, William Shatner did one of my songs. So with the guy from Alabama, they had Bill Shatner did the verses, talking, and then Jeff Cook from the band Alabama sang the choruses, and it's called Wrong Number. The song is about like basically when death comes calling, I tell them it's wrong number, which is pretty appropriate when you're 90
The
years old.
wrong number, yes.
So I've been just doing music for a lot of time. Now I have my own studio, producing. I think I sent you my latest song called Life. I wrote that with my friend Robert Gay. He was a guitar player for Johnny Van Zant, and some sort of southern rock thing. But I'm doing things with like Missy Balsam, which is more like a retro 80s kind of electronic stuff. I work with my friend Alonzo Bartlett. We're doing R&B things. So I love all kinds of music. I remember that song like "Hurt." That was a Nine Inch Nails
Sure.
song, and Johnny Cash did it. Like, oh my God, that was he owned that song. It was like so a good song, that can touch people. Like, and I love when somebody takes one of my songs. I've had about 40 people record my music, my songs. When somebody takes one of my songs and changes it, and makes it their own. I love that. It's like, they took that song and the way they interpret it. And I just thought, and also too, like when, I think of all the songs you could have chose, you chose one of mine. I'm like, wow, that's, still, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's sort of fun. But I love writing music. I love playing. I did shows in Europe. Last year we were in Europe for 70 days. I had shows in Czech Republic, and Germany, Scotland, Portugal, Denmark. So, and they love American music, and it was really fun. And it wasn't really like a tour, I was more like sort of vacation, but we had pickup gigs here and there, and so that was really fun. So I love traveling. I was a merchant marine from 19 to 21. I went all through
Wow.
Africa, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, South America. So I've done a lot of stuff, I mean, my crazy life, I mean, when I was, before I was a firefighter, I was selling vacuum cleaners for Electrolux. And I was like, out of 27,000, I was in the top 12. My friend said, you could sell refrigerators to Eskimos. So, so I was good. I was making really good money. Everyone laughed at me like, oh, vacuum cleaner selling. Yeah, I'm making $100,000 a year last year. I went, what? Like, wait a minute. So, yeah, selling this, and that's way back then when that was actually good money.
Sure.
So, but just my wife and I, we've been through some stuff, and she's hung with me, and what we figured out after all these years is like if we stay together, no matter what storm comes our way, we just hold tight. And and now it's like the best because I'm retired, we vacation, we've been to Europe 3 times, we go for a long time. The shortest one was 34 days. That was it. But the other days, and because actually when I first met her, she was supposed to go to Europe with an old boyfriend and didn't go and stay with me. So I promised her someday we'll get to Europe. And so we went 3 times. And last time was so much fun. I mean, we just, just incredible. The food, I mean, like in Cordoba, Spain, it's a mosque and a cathedral built together. And it's the most unbelievable structure. It's so beautiful. And it's sort of like, to me, it's just like, like in Cordoba in year 1000 there, you have old history. The Christian, the Jews, and the Muslims all lived together. They all respected each other's religion.
That's right.
It was all about education and science, and and it was like in literature and stuff like that, and it didn't matter. And then as it usually goes in, it gets a little crazy. But beautiful cities, and just these cathedrals and castles, and like we were in Austria, and we're going up to see this mountain, and there's this little church, and there's an older guy with his daughter. He goes like, "You see this church here?" He goes, "Yeah, Sound of Music." I went, Sound of Music. It's like, I still love that movie. I'm such a nerd, but I love that movie. Come on, like, I mean,
Yeah, of course.
and that was the church, like, like that's the one, like, what are we gonna do about Maria? Like, so like, and I'm like, it was like so cool, like, so you see these spots where they did these movies, and in Game of Thrones, and we were in Dubrovnik, and in Croatia, oh yeah, that shit, so it's sort of cool. But I just, I love traveling, I love meeting people. I love the food, that kind of stuff, and then here, like, and the thing is, I love my country. You know what I mean? I really do. And it's just like, and it's like, but we're young. Well, like we're becoming like 250 years old, in a couple of years. Like, and that's it. And so, like, you got these, there's like cathedrals that are 900 years old, and you think of, now wait a minute. Like, oh, and like have you been to Rome? Have you ever?
So I've been all over the world, and
Gotcha.
I go away as well for over 30 days. I never go. I'm going to share two silly, crazy stories with you, and then you continue.
Go ahead.
So I've been all over Rome, all over Asia, everywhere. I was in Russia in the 80s when it was still communist and had machine guns pointed at me. I was in
Right.
China at the wall and had machine guns pointed at me. I have rocks from all the walls.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, wow, cool.
Oh, yes. So I always said my bucket list, I had to go all over the world before I even traveled our country, pretty
Right.
much for the same reason. I'm like, I had to see everything that's out there, that's been out there for thousands of years versus here.
Right.
And so I agree with you 100%. I'm listening to you thinking like, oh my gosh, you're a male version of me. Amazing, amazing.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, like in the Forum next to the Coliseum there's that one door, and the door was built 2,400 years ago. That's 400 years before Jesus was born.
Okay,
And the locking mechanism still works. Put
okay,
the key in it openens up.
okay.
What?
It's crazy, right?
I mean, and then you go like I thought like the Sistine Chapel.
Yep.
I just thought it was very funny. Well, we stayed with a guy, and one of his friends was a curator there, and he took him up close. And when you go up close to the paintings, it's like modern art. It's not
That's
like
right.
perfect. It's supposed to be seen from 150 away. So I'm thinking 4 years on his back with a candle, figure that out. But the funny thing is, Michelangelo has a funny sense of humor. So I don't know if you know this, but so there's like they have heaven, purgatory, and hell. Well, in hell, there was the artist that was bad mouthing Michelangelo's like, oh, why is he getting the work and why not me, and he's not that good, and so my goes like, okay, I got you. So he paints this guy naked in hell
In hell.
with a snake wrapped around him, biting him right in the privates.
That is hysterical. I went to art school. I'm also an artist.
Oh, okay.
I went to art
You
school.
know-
And
So you know that story.
yeah, and back then in '79 was when I went to art school in New York City, School of Visual Arts in the Village, and we had to draw, of course, naked people. And I met someone who's now in his late 80s who also went to School of Visual Arts, and we swapped stories about how different it was then. And then I met someone 10 years ago, and he said everything now is graphic, and it just hurt me.
Oh, yeah.
It just hurt me. But yeah,
Okay.
so I know that story.
I was actually in college. This is funny. So I gave Mom, I got a job. She goes, what are you doing? I'm working for the art department. And what are you doing? I'm modeling. What kind of model? I go nude. He's like, what? What do you mean you doing nude?
Did you really do it?
I did it, yeah.
Wait.
It was so funny.
Wait, I have to share this with you real quick. Okay, after the show, we'll talk a little bit about what went on 70 years ago, 60 years ago versus when I was there and what you did. So I lived at my Nana's in Astoria to go to
Right.
art school because we were in New Jersey by then. And first day, we're in drawing class and we have to draw these naked models. There's 6 of them. And we're
Right.
like, and the teacher's like, draw their body parts, so we do. I leave that portfolio home. The next day was painting, so I took the other portfolio. I come home, and she's screaming in Italian on the phone with my father, pointing to penises. Okay, and I'm yelling, don't, Nana, don't, it's my homework, it's my homework. So my dad had to calm her down.
Yeah, the thing was like, we had like I think it was 20 minutes on. Yeah, then you had to get off. Then you could like let.
Oh my gosh, you
look.
were a naked model. What year?
and then-
Wait, what year was that about?
77.
Wasn't my year then. Oh well, I didn't
Yeah.
see you naked. All right.
But the thing is, when you're naked, it's like people like staring at you. One thing when you're naked, but like when somebody's like staring at you,
Because they
on
have
you,
to, right?
You're like, oh man, yeah, okay. So yeah, it was sort
That's
of. But
funny.
then it was like sort of funny because I knew some of the girls there, like so I'd walk up like and. Get your robe on, like it's like
Oh
you've
my
been
gosh.
staring at me for 20 minutes. What haven't you seen? Like,
That is so funny.
and then actually our studio was down here, and there was a girls' dorm, and if they went all the way on the 4th floor in the window, they could look down and see me. So of course, these girls are in the window, so trying to get me.
Of course.
Oh, of course, yeah. So, but it was fun. Though. I mean, the thing was, it was $15 an hour. And we could get beers at the college pub for 25 cents.
This is hysterical. I didn't know any of this, guys. I try my best not to know too much about my guests so that I could be as shocked as you. I'm going to be talking about this for a while.
Yeah, my poor mom's like, don't tell your brothers and sisters, Jesus. Just like, I came from a house, if I said, geez, that's close to Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, you're one of those, you probably the same thing.
Italian. Well, I'm Italian, baby.
Yeah, Irish and Italian, pretty much the same
Pretty
thing.
much the same.
Yeah, big families. And my friend Ronnie Piazza, though, I mean, we were like best friends. And his mom used to have that Sunday thing where he'd have we'd call it gravy.
Gravy. It is gravy. No, we don't call it gravy because it is gravy.
It's good because they have the pork, the sausage, and
The
pork,
meatballs
the
and-
chicken, the meat, and you come in the house and you smell it, you go like, oh, and then
It's sauce.
No,
Did you just hear a ghost? I just heard a ghost. Did you hear the ghost say it's sauce?
he ain't from Jersey.
That's right. It's gravy.
It's gravy. So, but like the good Italian bread, you go like, I don't need the pasta.
That's
Just
right.
Give me the gravy in a bowl and dip the bread.
Okay.
Oh, it was so good. The smell. I still remember it now. It's like, that's so good.
So why don't we give everybody a treat? Let's play your song. It's called Life. Is that the one?
Yeah. Mhm.
Let's play that, and then we're going to talk about that song. Let's give everybody a
Okay.
treat, producer.
It's brand new.
Brand new, baby.
They call me crazy, like I lost my mind, but I'm
I'm giving you a standing ovation, baby. All right, tell us about this song a little more. Come on.
Well, Robert Gay is a guitar player. He was on tour with Johnny Van Zandt for about 12 years, touring that whole, Leonard Skinner family. And Johnny's like doing sort of Leonard Skinner thing now. And so Robbie and I have become friends. We're connected by a guy from Nashville, my friend Mike Kinnaman. And so we've been writing some songs. But he hasn't come down to my house. We sort of like went up there and, we had a song with this guy in the studio. We thought it was going to be good and it was terrible. Oh my God, we just spent a lot of money for nothing. So he came down here, and I just got a baritone guitar, and it's like, so it's really cool. It's like it's a B, it's really low, but it's beautiful and real rich. And I've been writing some songs on it. So I said, I got some ideas here, and so like it just culminated. So, and I've been working really hard on my studio, getting my my producer chops going, and then so I gave him the ideas, and he's like, man, I love this. So the whole thing, I love that one line, like the moon don't shine without the sun. You know what I mean? And it's sort of true. It's like, and it's just like, and it's like, wish it ain't making it till the work's done. So like, in that whole thing, and and it's just like, we're gonna live this life. You're not gonna believe that lie. You're never enough. And it's sort of, so it's like a positive thing, like, you know what I mean? And that's what I wanted to sort of say, because, some people, like, they just don't think they're good, they're good enough, or like, they're not up to par, or like, and you are. You're perfect. You're just what you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? And you can make that change. That was basically the base of the song. Like, hey, like you are good enough. You are enough. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. But I love that. And then the thing with the moon don't shine is because sometimes you need people behind you. You need those kind of people. Like, hey, the moon's not going to shine unless you have the sun. Don't. The sun's the one that puts the light on it that we see. So it's just like as in recovery, right? When you have that base of people around you that helping you through that helps you with that, and that's with anything, depression.
That's right. That's right.
Family, whatever. So that's what that whole line's about, But I try to say something relatively clever sometimes, and sometimes they come out by mistake. So just something blurts out my mouth, and I'm like, I don't know where that came from. It just did, but But and then Robbie, of course, his guitar playing is like he's killing it. So it's like it's so much fun. Like, and it was sort of funny that one, like, it's the part there, it goes like, Rear. It's the pre-chorus part, like what if we won? Is it enough? We're hot as the sun. Let's burn it up. And that's the whole thing of like we're good to go. And so it was like 4 parts, and I said I need to get this little part to sort of bring it into the chorus. And he's like, oh, I don't know about that. I could just try it. And it's like, and then once he did, he's like, oh, that's awesome. Like, so I felt like, as I'm going through music, I'm trying to get like my producer chops going, as like, getting things to like, from one part to the part, like how does it go into the next part of the song. And so yeah, I know it's sort of fun. So I mean, this is a new project, and you got to hear it first on your radio show. That's it.
Did you guys hear that? Debuted right here on the Geri Petito Show on Hamilton Radio first. Okay, how about that?
First.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
All right. One of the producers is going to say something. Go ahead. What do you want to say? Yeah. So they're giving me the thumbs up back there.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Okay.
So I want to read a poem out of my book. I wasn't going to read this one, but based on everything you just said in this song, I think this is appropriate.
Cool.
I have to.
Please.
Okay. Because everybody needs to know that they are enough. You're right.
Right.
This is called Put Down the Gun, and the gun can be anything you want to end your life with. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I had to have this purple gun just in case my life was done. I kept it safe locked in my room because I was filled with gloom and doom. Yes, there were times that I just knew if I loaded it up what I could do, but I kept on hearing that gentle voice, put down that gun, you have that choice. Life may seem hard at the end of the day, but that's when you need to really pray. Dear Father, I beg you to show me the truth. How can life be so bad when I'm only a youth? Get rid of that gun and go take a shower. Ask someone for help. You do have that power.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
guys, if anybody out there is depressed, listen to what Tim said, listen to this poem, okay? Your
Yeah.
self-worth needs to be brought up, but guess what?
Yeah.
You have it. You
I
have
just
it.
lost I've lost two good friends and musicians and songwriters I wrote with one to fentanyl and one to alcohol poisoning. And the alcohol was he's an actor. He's like really good. He was on tons of movies and TV shows. Had a wife and three kids, and they were going through a rough patch. And they found him days later, and put the bottle to his head and pulled the trigger. And it was it was so sad. It was and this is like a friend of mine. And then the other guy was I was in Europe, and I called him. I said, "How you doing?" Because I check on people like that. Like, I'm grateful for my addiction. And people go
Me
"Why are you
too.
grateful?"
Me too.
Because unless I had that experience, how could I help anybody else or anybody that's in the middle of that listen to me? You don't know. I go, "Oh, I know exactly what you know. I was 50 pounds later. My liver was going. I should have been arrested 100 times. You know what I mean? Somehow I was, scuffed out of it. And, and I was, yeah, I get it. And totally powerless. This thing just kicked my butt. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
wasn't really a big druggie. You know what I mean? Even I was, beers, maybe, weed once in a while, but I wasn't I don't like being out of control. You know what I mean? I didn't like it. And I started this stuff and, we just got into smoking it and that was the end of that. So, and that was, and that it almost, ruined me. But I was the same thing. It was I got to a point when I was down, my wife didn't deserve me. I started speeding my car up. I was going to run into a, embankment on the highway. And I heard this voice go, "No, don't get help." So I turned around and went to a hospital and said, "Listen, I'm bad." You know what I mean? And then I started, and that rehab was okay, but it wasn't, I wasn't really listening, and then, but I tried, and I was so for a little bit, and then I started drinking again, and then I went right back to it. Somebody said, "Hey, you want to get some stuff?" And I did, and I was right back for 4 months. So I went to another rehab, and that was really good because what happened was when I was 3 and a half, I had a 2-year-old brother that was killed by a car in front of me. The guy ran out, and I
Wow.
never grieved. I didn't know how to grieve because you're 3 and a half. And my parents, they thought at that time, not blaming them, but their thought was well, what I'll do is I'll move Timmy out, and my brother Kevin, all his stuff was his. He moved out of the house. And then I went back home, and he was gone, and his stuff was gone, and we never talked about it, ever. And we didn't they put a headstone on it till my grandmother died, and they buried it, and she buried her, and they put a headstone with her and him. And now my parents, they're with both them two now. So now it's my mom and dad, my dad's mom, and my brother Kevin. But my brother Kevin has been I think he's my guardian angel.
Yes.
Because, no, I mean, I was playing a show, and this lady's a psychic. She goes, "Okay, I don't know how to tell you this, but there's this tall blonde kid, right? He's dancing around you while you're playing." And it's "Oh, that's Kevin." You know what I mean?
I
But
love
I'll
it.
tell you, look, I'll tell you the show. This is because I've had a lot of spiritual experiences like crazy. But I told you my 18-year-old son was killed in a car accident in 2006. It was May 7th. And what happened? So a couple of days after the funeral, my wife went out, and the single white flower that we've never seen in our yard before. We've been in the house for 12 years. You know what grows there. So where's that from? So, and my son was named Trevor, so we call it Trevor's flower. So a couple of days later, my wife went out, and the original flower closed up, and there was 5 white flowers just like the first one. So she went to call me, and when she got to the phone, it was the nurse from the organ donation. She said, "Hey, I just want to tell you that 5 lives were saved from your son's gift." You know what I mean? And then, and then, so then the flowers went away. We didn't see them. And 10 years to the date of the accident, May 7th, 10 years later, a single white flower came up again. So we're so, I mean, and I've had other stuff too that's even more,
Yeah.
I had his ashes on my bed. He showed me the accident. I have a friend who's a medium, and she never collects money. She won't take any money, can't give her anything. She's just a gift. But I'm sitting in the bed, and I said this wham to black, wham to black. And I'm like, whoa, what the heck, right? And then 30 seconds she called, he goes, "Hey, Trevor just showed you the accident." Because I always thought as a paramedic, because I've been to so many of these, were you ever in pain? Did you ever hurt? And he wanted to show me, and I never hurt. And then when I saw the picture of the van that hit him, that was the one in the vision. He showed me it. I mean, I've had some very intense
Yeah.
stuff. So I don't know if I have a thin veil, but I don't know. It doesn't matter to
know.
me. I mean, it's I believe now.
Right. No, I've had some things as well. Let's play for right now another song.
Mhm.
My producers are messing around. They're loving the show, and they're giving me some waves and crazy things back there.
Yeah. Who's that crazy guy on here?
Okay,
Whoa.
what song would you like us to play next? He's asking.
Well, let's. We're talking about We Love America. This song American Made. You have
Okay.
that one?
Do you have that one? Tell him the songs we have. Okay.
I thought you said you had that one. American Made, Wounded Man, Church.
He needs to send them all to me.
Okay, hold on.
Hey, Tim. It's Ruben.
Hi.
How
Hey,
you doing,
Ruben.
dude? Good music, my friend. Good music.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks.
And God bless you, brother.
Okay, thank you so much.
We have
do you ha-
Wounded Man,
Okay.
The Church,
Mm-hmm.
and Under the Wave.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, we'll just do this. The Church it's a great song. I wrote, when I go to Nashville, you go on Route 24, and there's this small white church with this red roof, and I passed it, and it was like sort of off the highway. And I don't know, for some reason, it just caught my eye, and every time I went up there, I'd see it. It's right around like 142 mile marker. So I stopped and pulled over, and there was old headstone, and I'm thinking, wow, this church, like how many weddings, marriages, baptisms, services that this church has seen. So there's a guy I wrote this his last name is Bach, and his actually great grandfather is Johann Sebastian Bach. So I was like, yo, and we wrote this song called The Church, and yeah, it's a nice song. And my friend Ray Nessa was a producer. We did it down here in Florida in a studio called Orange Glow, and the cool thing is, the guy Brian Howe, he was a singer for Bad Company when he did the Holy Water album.
Oh, I know the album, but I don't. Yeah.
He happened to be in the studio, and I said, Brian, I just did a gig last night. I don't know if I get the high harmony. Can you do the harmonies on this song? And he's like, and everyone's going like, you just asked Brian Howe?
I love it.
and he's like, yeah, I'll do them. So there you go. So the vocals on here was Brian Howe singing.
I love it. Okay, Gino, let's have it. That's cool.
I've been here 100 years a day. Been through fire, snow, wind, and rain. You're always welcome, my new friend. My doors are open, so come on in. And I've seen rich and I've seen poor, wearing out my hardwood floors. Inside these walls they found their way, stood and sang Amazing Grace. I'm the little white church with the red roof at the edge of town. It's where I serve my time, sitting on sacred ground. I got a bell that rings real true, a holy book in every pew, a corner pulpit, and a cross on the wall. My new friend, you can come and take it all. And I've seen rich and I've seen poor, wearing out my hardwood floors. Inside these walls they found their way, stood and sang Amazing Grace. I'm the little white church with the red roof at the edge of town. I guess I serve my time, 'cause tomorrow you're gonna tear me down.
beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, man.
Well, you know a little bit about that because in Nashville, like there's a Music Row. It's like 18th, 16th, and 17th Street, and on 17th Street there was a ton of these publishing houses, the old ones, like all this like country music and so much history. Tore them all down, and all those condos now.
Oh,
And we're like, oh, wait a minute, like what happened here? Like it's like yeah, so it's like because they're just building it up in the Virgin Hotel, like it's like on the corner now. Like what? I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, I guess it's gentrification happens, right? So but
I don't like it.
a lot of history. But they did say the RCA studio. They still say that one. My friend
Okay.
still works there. He actually owns it now, and he's done some demos way back early. So, but that was sort of like that was a little. That's where it sort of came like they were tearing the church down. After 100
Wow.
years.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I know.
So-
That's what we thought. That song's like, dude, why are you tearing the church down? We didn't
I
really
love
tear it down.
I love
But
it.
It's just one of those kind of stories,
Yeah.
like that, But I love the thing, tears of joys and wedding gowns, baptized babies, too many to count, folks in caskets heaven bound. Like, it's just right. I mean, that church saw that. That church saw all that,
That's
so,
right.
And I've seen rich and poor, my hardwood floor, just it just yeah. So wearing out my hardwood floor, I love that. So that was a yeah, and Lee was really great. Lee Bach was his name, and he's a really good writer, and we had a good thing, and yeah, he was introduced to me, my friend, I have a good friend, Mike Kinnaman. When I first went to Nashville, I sent this guy Mike Kinnaman some songs, and he wasn't too impressed. He's like, it's okay. So so I go in town. I'm doing a festival up there, and he's like, so I go, Mike. I said, I'm in town. Can I come in the office? And he's like, well, yeah, Tim, why don't you come in? You got about I got 15 minutes. So I go in. He's like, okay, take a guitar off the writing room wall, play me one verse and one chorus of one song, and I played this song called "Hold Me," and he loved it. You know what I mean? And that night, he took me to a party, Buddy Brock has like written huge hits like Watermelon Crawl and and all kinds of nice songs for Kenny Chesney, all that stuff, and all these Frank Brown, all these like top producers. Dobie Gray was there singing, I mean, it was like what, and I walked in and then he goes, okay, play your song.
Oh my gosh.
Now my wife's going like, you're gonna play your song? I go, yeah, I guess I'm here, and
No, that's
but
cool.
so we're actually best friends now. We've been
That's
11 years
cool.
later, and so we've become really good friends. And he's helped me, and he's in contact with a lot of people. That's really helped me in that career and that genre. Because when I went first to Nashville, I'm like, yeah, I'm a songwriter. I have record deals. I know what I'm doing. Oh no, when you go to Nashville, these are like professional songwriters that do it every day. And you think you know what you're doing until you get up there. And it took me about literally probably a couple of years going up there, and I was still working as as a paramedic. But you had that 1 day on, 2 days off thing, so I could take a couple of days off and a couple vacay, and I'd go up there for a couple of weeks. And a couple of years, writing on a regular basis, and luckily people were patient with me. But I had ideas, you know what I mean. But I wasn't like there's a song American Made. I don't know why I didn't send it to you, but it's like they call it Furniture in the Room. So it's like this is the first verse. The smoking pipes of a Harley and the rumble that they make, it's the laughter of a child on her first July parade. You're at a baseball diamond on a hot summer night, you got a hot dog and an ice cold beer, and you're singing the national and holding back a tear. Now you can see all that stuff. You know what I mean? You can see the motorcycle, boom, a little smoke coming out, laughter of a child, and
Yeah.
a baseball game, like a hot dog and ice cold beer, and this national coming, I never forget when Whitney Houston sang the national anthem that one time. I was
Oh,
like,
forget it.
I cried. I was like,
No, I think I had tears as well. I think everybody
Yeah.
did. That was
Yeah, I mean,
amazing.
It was incredible. So, and that's what they taught me, and you need, they call it furniture in the room. And that's putting visual stuff in there so people can see it. Like a lot of young songwriters are talking about emotions, which is great, but what happens is I can't see emotions. Not okay, you can feel it, but when you put things in it, like baseball diamonds and the laughter of a child, their first July parade. Can you just see that? On her, father's shoulders, it's like, so that's the kind of stuff, and that's what they taught me. And when I wrote American Made, that was the song that I sort of, that was one of the ones. And then, from then on, it's been,
Wait, I have to say something to you. You just said something that no other singer-songwriter has ever said during an interview. Okay, so we always talk about music saves lives. Everyone needed it to get through depression, right? I mean, it's the truth. And I always say if you put like a 8-month-old baby in a bouncy and you put music on, they're going to bounce.
Right.
Okay, I go in a lot of nursing homes with entertainers and you know, people that don't even lift their heads, all of a sudden they're trying to lift their heads. But you
Right.
just said something that really resonated, and it's powerful because we all talk about how it's feelings. Music is feelings, right? But you're
Right.
right. You have to put something in that they could actually see for them to feel.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like let them see the video. You know what I mean? And so when I wrote that one, it's like that. That was like that. So I got it. So these other songs, like "Wounded Man," is like it's a cool song, and I wrote that with my friend Corey Barker.
We have that one, right?
You have that one.
All right, tell us about that one, and then we'll play it.
Well, it's funny because I was sitting in the kitchen with my guitar, and I came with this lick, just like this little guitar thing. And my wife's great. Like she's like totally like, she doesn't like something. That's crap. Stop playing that.
I love it.
She's like, she has no problem. Like, man, I hate that. But when she said, like, that's really cool. Keep that going. So I had this thing because we were working with veterans. This guy, Gary Hannon, was like, he's wrote some big songs like Tequila Mush, Your Clothes Fall Off, and some other ones. And we used to do this thing. We'd go to the VFW halls, and we say, who here in the hall is having a hard time? Not like, just they're having, like, they're hard time paying the bills or car. Okay. And we would do a show, and we'd collect money. And at the end of the show, we'd hand this guy like $2-3 grand. So, and we didn't ask him what he's like, you need to fix your car, need to pay your rent, need to eat some food, whatever. And I think the thing was really cool that the guy not only just, it wasn't like just the money, but it was like, we really did respect you for your service. And we're not just saying it. We're sticking money in your hand, saying like, we appreciate you, and we're going to show you we're going to appreciate you, so you can move on. You know what I mean? So, and so I worked with a lot of guys with PTSD with equine stuff. We had the horses. I'd go up there sometimes sing with them, and they had this thing because horses can sort of really resonate with you emotionally. There's people that can actually look at a horse, look at you, and they know what you're feeling. It's like, but it's pretty cool. But they work a lot of guys with PTSD because horses are so loving, and. And so I was working with all these guys, and it was like, and I had this thing, Wounded Man, but we sort of, made it a little bit different. But it's like, it's just a sad tale of a guy that's like, going through just everything you go through bad. You know what I mean? But at the very end, the angels, they come and pick him up and say, "Welcome home."
Okay. Wow. Okay, producer, Wounded Man. Wow. Beautiful. Wow.
You playing it now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And the dobro player, Sasha, in a band called Bering Straits.
Thought his love could make her stay, but fate had other plans that day. But ever held her in his hand, but ever left him a wounded man. A wounded man. Charred heart and black as coal, scorched his pride and burned his soul. Never had a snowball's chance, such was the life of a wounded man. A wounded man. Never met a man so unblessed, buried deep in deep regret, living in a broken promised land. Oh Lord, have mercy on a wounded man. His old man lived by the gun. He was shot by the sheriff down in 91. Way too young to understand. Left his son a wounded man. A wounded man. Mama was an eggshell ready to fall. They found her one day in a bathroom stall. Blood on the floor, a knife in her hand. Left her son a wounded man. A wounded man. angels came and took his hand, welcomed home a wounded man. Peace at last. Lord.
That's fine. Come on. Whew. Tim, first of all, it was amazing. This is the original owner
Tim.
of Hamilton Radio, Doc
Hey.
G, and one of the producers, and he just came out and said he has to say something.
Just blew me away, man. The music just blew me away. I can't wait to start playing it right away. I mean, I've got some of the songs. You got to send all the songs
Send the
to
rest
me.
of them to that email.
Yeah. Send them to that email or send them to my email,
To his.
admin@hamiltonradio.net.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I'll get them. I tried to friend you on Facebook.
Oh,
But
thank
your
you so
music
much,
is
yeah.
just amazing, man. Just
Oh,
amazing.
thanks
It
so
is,
much.
right?
Yeah, we try. I mean, like, I've written over 1,000 songs. People go like, "Oh, I really like your music." I go, "Well, you haven't heard the 951 that didn't make that cut." So, but the thing is, you do so many, and every once in a while, it's like, you get one that's just like, "Oh yeah, that works really well," And yeah, I have some other ones like, Stardust, and there's other ones like I wrote, like I'm written with this girl Nikki Williams and Chaz Sanford. Chaz Sanford wrote like "Missing You" for John Waite. Like some, the Babe, all that kind of stuff. This guy, he's a really good friend of mine. It's really quick though. This guy's like, he said, he goes, I'm the Forrest Gump of music. He's 15 years old. He's walking down an aisle, in an alley in L.A. He's 15 years old, guitar in his back. This door swings open. There's this tall black guy smoking a cigarette. He's like, "So you play guitar?" I goes, "Yeah. You want to do some studio work?" "Sure." It was Ike Turner.
Get out of here. Okay, that is so cool.
It's like, but so thanks so much. Like, I've had a really good career. I got to tell you this one story though, because you'll love this. So, all right. So we used to roadie for a guy named Richard Hell and the Boy Doys. It was a punk band in New York City. And they used to have this thing at CBGB's. You'd play Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, right? 0 nights. So we told Richard that, "Richard, we were in a band called Neighbors and Allies. If we can open up for you for Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, we'll roadie for free and you can have the whole door." So he was real good friends with like the guys from Blondie, like Jimmy Destry, the keyboard player, and the guy doing it. So we go on Thursday night. Jimmy Destry's there. He watches. First we get off stage of the first set, and Richard's like, like you guys were like unbelievably good. What the hell? Like he thought we'd be like, some idiots. So we play and we play it. So now Friday night we go on. We do our first set. We had a guy from a band magazine. He goes like, "Listen, boys, I'll do the roadieing because David Bowie's out there and he wants to meet you." And we're like, "What?"
Get the frick out.
We're like 5-year-olds with short pants on, like the nicest guy, man. I mean, like, and I know a lot of people that know him. So like, but just talk to us. We had some beers. We're sitting down. We're just having some fun. We're talking, talking about music. He looked at me. He goes, "You want to be a rock star?" And I go, "Yes, I do. I know, it's true." But the coolest thing at the end of the night, so he goes, he's leaving. He's going, "What's that opening band getting paid?" And he goes, "Oh, they're not." And he goes, "Oh yeah." He took $900 and paid us.
First of all, that's a great story, the whole thing. But meeting him, I mean, okay, did you get any photos? No photos back then, right?
This is before cell phones.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
mean,
like,
come
"Oh."
on.
Like I know, I want this. But the thing is,
But you know, so it's okay. That's
yeah, well,
amazing.
everyone saw Hilly Crystal, you know, the owner there, all those guys. We were like he said Bowie says, you're like the Mata Hoople of the 80s.
That is so great.
We're like, yeah, we'll take that, you know.
That is so great.
But you know, I know someone. So I mean, the thing is, I have this thing. Whatever I do, it's 100%. You know what I mean? If I'm going to do music, I'm in, you know, whatever, and I just do it, you know, and I keep on doing it, and like, and I try to stay positive, and then I'm humble and I learn. Like I watch people, I learn, I listen. You know what I mean? I take notes, you know, and then just, you know, and then the thing is, you crap. Like when I go to Nashville for 2 weeks, we'd write 25 songs. Like, you know, in 2 weeks, it'd be like, you know, I do like 2, 3. Like one time I'm doing this place and doing my friend said, hey, listen, can you come in? I got this open mic thing. I need you to just like come in, like, you know, and close the deal with me at night. So I said, sure, man. I'll be there. And so what time? Okay. So now I did 3 co-writes. Now when you do co-writes, you're concentrating like you're studying for an exam. So after the third one, you're like fried. I mean, fried. But I'm the kind of person, if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So I show up. And we do like about 5 or 6 songs, you know, whatever. He played lead, I sang the song, blah, blah, blah. We have a guitarist on our back, we're just, PA's off, and we go about leave, and then 8 people walk in, 7 women and a guy. And they go, oh, we really want to hear some music. I'm like, okay, well, all right. I'm not going on the PA. I said, take your chairs, put them in a circle, and I'll play. So I played some songs, and they bought some CDs, and I had one left, and I go, hey, I'm just going to give this to you. And she goes, oh, thanks. She goes, I didn't tell you, but I work for Luke Bryan, so what song do you want me to pitch him?
Oh, my gosh.
So the moral of the story is you never know who's going to be there.
No, you never know.
You never know. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I've had a lot, you know, really good opportunities. Then this guy, Gary Hanna, that was like a friend of me and stuff like that. We did a lot of shows together. And I'd be on stage with like Richie McDonald from Lone Star, Darryl Worley, Chaz Sanford, Billy Dean, you know, all these guys that like, and the guys from the Little River Band, that was so much fun, you know. So, and you know, and I'm on stage with them. It's like, so it was always like Gary has like, you know, Tequila Makes Your Clothes Fall Off and a bunch of hits. Then you have like Richie McDonald, like, you know, like a million hits, and then there's me. So
That is so cool.
And Richie McDonald has like the unbelievable voice. So so Richie would do a song and goes, okay, Tim, you're next. Like after Richie, like, you know, but it always worked out well, and it was cool. Like, you know, that song Amazing that he wrote, it's Amazed, right? It's like a beautiful wedding song, like everyone's used it. And so Richie McDonald's on stage with his piano, and I had my friend like, and it's like, and that was their wedding song. So I go, and Richie, it's my friend's wedding song. So he invites his wife and him to sit next to him as he sings their wedding song.
Oh, so now that's priceless.
My friend goes, I am so in tonight. Like, yes, it's going to be great. So, you know, I mean, you know, it's just, I love what music does. It connects people. You know what I mean? I mean, oh, I'm sorry.
No. My producer's walking by behind the camera, okay,
Oh.
waving,
He can't see you.
but you can't see him. He's waving, but we can see him waving, okay?
Okay, gotcha.
Here he comes. Wait, here he
Here,
comes.
Tim.
All right.
All right. They love you.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, man, how you
How
doing?
you doing, dude? I want to say, I just want to take it back a little bit. I know Jerry won't mind. I have to guess. I don't know. I should ask her maybe.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I commend you for working on 9/11 project.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, believe it or not, I was in AmeriCorps at that time when
Oh.
the buildings fell, and
Okay.
my team were supposed to go to the towers,
Wow.
and they were very excited, but the head lady got a message from, I think it was George Bush at the time, right? When the towers went down, right?
Yeah.
So they got a message from the White House saying that they didn't want the AmeriCorps to go to the site. They thought
Oh,
it was
really?
too dangerous for us to go there, but we were
Not-
hyped to go, but they
Right.
were like, no, we'd rather you stay here and help
Wow.
with the homeless instead of going to the 9/11
Wow.
site, helping
Wow.
out. In some cases,
they-
I thought about it. I was kind of mad about it because I was one
Yeah.
of the team leaders.
Right.
And when you had to tell, your 8 people at the time that, you're denied to go help out in 9/11 because we were excited to go and help. But they said
Right.
they didn't want to risk the dangers and
Yeah.
they didn't know the health risk and everything like that. At the time, I mean, we were really mad. But now that we see the results, the after effects of people getting sick and everything,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it was
Yeah.
actually a good
blessing,
decision.
a
It was a
blessing.
blessing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I was.
Yeah.
I want to share something with you guys, and you might know this, Ruben. I'm not sure if I told you, but friends of mine years ago came from Australia, so of course they wanted to see the site, so I brought them. And the tour guide was amazing. She loved their accents, and she pulled me aside and she said, Jerry, not many people know about this. Now, you might know about this, Tim, I'm not sure, but there is a 9/11, oh my gosh. What do you, no, there, when you go to a museum, a 9/11 museum
Memorial. Yeah.
in the village, in this building. The
Right.
original photographer, the one that went down and got everything out,
Right.
he started this, and she said, gave me the address, and she said, here's what you do. You just go, you ring the bell, and they bring up like maybe 6 people at a time, so just wait your turn. We got there were only 3 people in front of us. It was me and my 2 friends. Within 5 minutes, they opened the door. The guy, the original photographer, is never supposed to be there. He has someone working it. That guy called out sick, and he was there, so I got to meet him. I got the photos. It was amazing, amazing.
I will say that, well, when we first got there, they did a debriefing. They said, listen, this is going to be, when you see this, because I live in Jersey, but at that time, we used to take our kids down to Chinatown, and then we took them to the towers on top. So, they've been there. And so we go there, and it was like all lit up like a movie scene, like the end of the world. And they had these little pickers. They were like they had 3 prong. They were picking up these, steel beams and stuff. Because what you saw on the pile, the original 80 stories were in the garage.
Wow.
The other 40 were on top. And then they had all these buildings that were like almost going to come down, But I'll say something, and this, most of the people are good, and there's so many random acts of kindness that no one knew about. I don't know if you heard this, but when I was there, we were there all the way down. Our last day was Columbus Day. We had the Columbus Day Parade. There was 900 people that flew from Oregon to support New York City. And no one knows this.
No.
I mean, think about logistically getting 900 people on planes. We love we love America. We love our city, and we're going to support you no matter what. And they marched with us in the parade. It was so cool. When we did Katrina, what they did, we were going to Louisiana, we were going to New Orleans, and we have this thing. It's like a mash unit. We have a pharmacy and everything, And so, and I said, listen, we're going to take you to San Antonio. We flew 5,000 people from New Orleans into this Air Force base, and we want you to take care of them. That's like give them got like Hep A shots, tetanus shot, and get their medicine squared away and that kind of stuff. So on the way, we're getting there, you know what I mean? And there was a it was a hotel we stopped at. It was a 2-day trip for us, and there was about 20 families there. And this guy said, look, these people had no money. He said, I will pay for all these people till they find a place to live.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, one after the other, So
amazing.
and there's a funny story. There's one guy.
Amazing.
We're
So-
stopped at this place. Oh, good. I'm sorry.
No.
So so
Go
what
ahead.
I'm saying, there's so, and on it went. Like there was this trucker guy. And there was on I-10 there was this chemical spill, so we couldn't get through. So he went 150 miles out of his way to go around it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'd have to do that. But it
My
was cool.
cousin worked in that building. She's still with us, and she was running through the street screaming. And they had payphones at the time also still, and she dialed her mom who had her child and said, "You might not see me," but she made it. It was amazing. No one will ever forget that, especially New Yorkers.
No,
So
yeah.
we still have a few minutes left. We're gonna play your
Okay.
final song. I want you to tell everyone the name of it and tell us about it first.
It's called Under the Wave. It's just sort of lost love thing, but thing is I didn't see your goodbye under the wave of goodbye. I didn't see your goodbye under the wave of goodbye. So it's just like people going hi, honey, see ya. It's but not really. But underneath that smile and that wave is yeah, I'm never going to see you again. So that kind of thing. So, and that's it. But it's and then there's another version. There's one, I won't go to that, but we have an old keyboard player from the Rescue. We actually retooled it to another song I didn't see with same lyrics, and it changes the whole thing because it gets into my friends that passed away from addiction. So it's sort of weird. But this one is just basically Lost Love, and it just got a little groove thing, and it's just sort of fun, and it's easy, and gets played. Got a lot of good play down in Australia. That was good. So
Oh,
you know,
cool.
people like it down there. Yeah, so good. That was good. So,
My home away from home. I love Australia. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
producer, let's have it, DJ.
Yeah.
I've been fooled, oh so subtle. Yes, I'm in trouble once again, and I believe what was forever was bound to sever so cruelly. I didn't see what you did. Maybe I should have seen the signs under the wave of your goodbye. So what could I do to bring you back? But your last attack, I saw the truth. It was easy to see what was to come. Both of us so numb, while you're so guilt-free. I didn't see what you need. Maybe I should have seen the signs under the wave of your goodbye. I didn't see what you need. Maybe I should have seen the signs under the wave of your goodbye.
That's it.
That's awesome. So I want you to tell everyone all your platforms. If anybody wants to reach out, take the
Okay.
mic.
Thank you. Well, you go to timmcgeary.com, easy, TIMMCGERY.com. Okay, that's my, and if you leave a message on there, it comes to my email. Tim McGeary or Tim McGeary Music on Facebook. Tim McGeary Official on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. Let's see, yeah. YouTube channel, Tim McGeary. I got a lot of channels. Like, I got to send you the song I Was There For You, because I should have sang you that one, because that was
Yeah.
really, that's a whole good story on that one too.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of videos on there, lots of songs. There's a I think I sent you that spoken word piece, and the one "Be Someone's Heaven." Did you
Okay.
get that?
If I did, it's in your folder. I have
Okay,
a
I
folder
got it.
for you.
All right. So, but I work on that kind of stuff, and I also, so please, visit me, like that, communicate with me. People that like a lot of times when they do like that, they send me their address. I'll keep that, and when I get new stuff like Life, they go, hey, here's a new song, check it. You know what I mean? So I'll send you some stuff, what's ever going on. And then if I'm in your area, like in Europe, like we're gonna go probably in September, for like maybe a couple months. So I'm trying to get some house concerts over there. So like I got a lot of radio play over there, like in Ireland and Scotland. So I'm working on that, like trying to get some shows there, or around Florida or Georgia. And if I can get a few shows up New Jersey or Pittsburgh area, just saying, all right. I'd be, I'm here. So, I'll do some show. I do like this thing. These house concerts have been really popular lately because people concerts are a little expensive. So what I do is I come in and we set up in the house and we get like 30, 40 people. Everyone puts like about $20 in a head, so it's not too expensive and it's local. Everyone brings food, and I do a private concert in your house.
That's
It's
really
way
cool.
People they love it because I tell all the stories behind the songs and stuff.
That's
so it's
really
like
cool.
they get a little stuff and they like it. So hey, it's been so much fun. Thank you so much for letting me on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
So, all right, I'm going to give you the mic for a couple more minutes. I want you to leave the listeners with something really inspirational. And producers, we're not going to play my song at the end. I'm going to read a poem at the end. Okay? But I want you to leave them something inspirational from you.
Okay. Well, basically, you can change if you want. It comes down to choices. 36 years ago, I was 150 pounds lighter. I was addicted to crack cocaine. My liver was going, called a bum tan, got like little tans going. I was suicidal. Somehow my wife stayed with me, which is a miracle. There's a song that goes with that because I don't love it all. But the thing is, you can change, And the other thing is, most people are good. Don't believe what's in the news, all right? I have a friend of mine that, I've got a show in Lake Placid. His brother did work for CBS TV, and it was 20 years. His whole job was to find bad stories. Most people are good. Most people do the right thing. We always see it in America. It seems like when things are at their worst, we are at our best. We come together. It happens all the time, right? And I know this guy in Texas, he said one time, he goes, Tim, you need the right and the left. He goes, you can't fly a plane with one wing and never get off the ground. And I said, yes, sir. You know what I mean? So we're all Americans.
I love it.
And most of us are good. And so just remind us, don't worry about the fanatics on the crazy left and the crazy right, because that's not most of us. Most of us are like good people and do the right thing. So I love my country. I love the world. And be kind and do random acts of kindness on a regular basis because they go around the world. Somebody sees it, and then they pay it forward, and then they pay it forward, and they pay it forward. And sooner or later, it goes around the world and comes back. And it's a beautiful thing.
Well, I just switched the poem I was going to read because of something you said. First of all, I want to thank you. You are incredible, inspirational, an amazing singer-songwriter. You're a hero to me and to most people. So I want to thank you again for your service on 9/11, first and foremost, and I want to thank you for your music because music also saves lives. Tim, you're an amazing person. Everybody, Tim McGeary, okay, check him out. But you said something in the very beginning that people can change, and it's their choice. My poem is called Change Your Choice.
There you go.
Okay, and you didn't know that, and I didn't know you
No.
were going to say that. Okay, guys, I'm going to close with this poem today. We're not going to play my music, okay? Guys, I want you to really, really listen to these words because we all have the opportunities to change the things that are, I want to say that we're doing maybe we shouldn't be doing. We're allowing that we shouldn't be allowing, okay? So this is across the board. So everyone, please, please, please listen to these words. Okay, producer, here I go. I had a life-changing moment that I knew had to be. The only way to change things was to first start with me. So I looked in the mirror and woke up one day and thought to myself I needed to pray. So I asked God to change me, to help me stay strong, to clean up my mess, to right what's been wrong. I cleaned up my diet. I cleaned up my room. I cleaned up all habits with this old dirty broom. Okay?
Nice.
I kept going forward and never looked back. I refused to derail, stayed on the right track. I realized my worth, and all that did matter through my selfish behavior, the lives I had shattered. I finally decided at 30 years old to stop abusing my body, my mind, heart, and soul. My life-changing choice that I had once made, 32 years now, guys, my debt has been paid. So you read all my thoughts on how to stay clean. It's all or nothing, my friend. There's no in between. To live or to die is a choice you must make. Your life is not worthless, and you're not a mistake. One day at a time is a slogan you've heard. It works if you work it while applying His word. For you to get healthy, for your mind not to fail, escaping reality will keep you in jail. With addictive behavior, sex, drugs, food, or money, substituting addictions. Now, isn't that funny? I'm not an addict. This too shall pass. I'm not an addict. I'm just an ass. May the good Lord bless and guide you. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
Share this show. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much for letting me be on, man. It was so much fun. Okay. And I'll get those songs to
Yes.
producer, okay?
Terrific.
All right.
All right,
right.
producer, take us out.
I've been fooled, oh so subtle. Yes, I'm in trouble once again, and I believe what was forever was bound to sever. So cruel.